Hello, everybody. Highway, we are back to the Higurashi console arcs. Okay, we've been a while away. We were back in Rokunjima for a little, our touching farewell to Umineko. But we are right back, and okay, let's see. I really honestly enjoyed Someutsushi. I really did. I thought that was a really entertaining, nice arc with great characters. And I'm not going to be fooled this time. I am going to actually do the police case files first. The last one. Hello, Sailor Moon. Welcome to the stream. It is time to get into the police case files first for Kageboushi. The Metropolitan prologue right there. Here we go. Let's get into it. Summer 2006. Oh, we're back in the future again. Please tell me if the music. Please tell me if the music and voices are too loud or too soft.
That's enough.
Once I finished organizing the material for handoff, I arched my back and stretched my arms out, then felt a light sense of relief.
It was an impressive amount of material, just as expected. But even so, it was quite useful.
As I gazed at the laptop sitting on my desk, I let out a sigh. Crime scene reports detailing every single case. Various manuals and regulations detailing processing steps. Other public security laws and government ordinances. In the old days, it was necessary to browse through documents and thick files anytime you wanted to investigate something. But now you can see everything right away by performing a few simple operations on a machine the size of a sheet of paper. Akasaka, the boomer, marveling at cell phone technology of 2006. Man, he'd shit his pants for what we have nowadays. Not only that, but the time it takes to search through this information has been massively shortened thanks to the database we set up. I'm grateful for that. The files were still lined up in the shelves in front of us, but as a result, they've just been sitting there collecting dust. And the digitization of records wasn't the only thing that changed with the times. My job responsibilities and my surroundings were constantly changing, sometimes very suddenly. Naturally, I struggled to keep up with the flow of change. Really? Wait, a school principal? What? Seriously? Is he going undercover?
No, I'm gonna be a school principal. It's hard to see myself that way.
In keeping with the recent trend towards structural reform, the Metropolitan Police Department's Public Security Division was given a large-scale reorganization earlier this year. And starting next spring, I'm going to be the principal of the police... Oh, of the police academy. I see. Well, he's getting on in years. If he was active in the 80s, I think that's a good job for him to have at this stage in his career. Nevertheless, I was completely shocked when I received the letter a few days ago, notifying me of the change. The number of positions dwindles as you approach the top of the pyramid, so I wasn't planning to stay in the field of public security forever. But I never expected I'd end up in a teaching position. Oh wow, I did not expect to see you here. Surely this is a message from the gods.
お父さんは今まで働きすぎだったから、そろそろ少しは休みなさいってね。
You've been working so hard until now, Dad. So why not rest a while? Indeed. I smiled bitterly as I thought back on what my daughter told me. I haven't been working as fervently as some of my superiors and colleagues, but she certainly saw it that way. But public safety ordinances prevented me from telling my family the details of the work I do. Hello, T. Welcome to the stream. As a result, my daughter has built up exaggerated expectations based on the stories she's heard from the media.
この第7資料室の公開もあと数ヶ月か。
This amazing spectacle, the 7th records room, has just a few months left.
Oh my god, I've just remembered. This is the background that they used in the for those like little 5-minute talks with Ryukashi after all the answer arcs. And then I'll never see it again. I thought it was such a drab sight when I first took office here, but now I'm sad to see it go. This room is a treasure trove of history, detailing all the conflicts my colleagues and I fought and challenged together. Some were able to overcome adversity and find the truth. However, there are many where we struggled to find clues until the end, and many unresolved incidents that were regrettably interrupted before they could be finished.
その中の一つがこれだな。
And one of them was this one right here.
I used the keyboard and mouse to navigate through the authentication system, then opened the case file for one particular incident. It was in June 1983, of course. When else would it be? The document detailed an incident that happened in a remote village in the Chubu region, the Hinamizawa gas disaster. Huh. That was an interesting little aside. This one kind of went hand in hand with more of the Yoigoshi one, I would say. I don't know what this one really has to do with the other one, but I would kind of put this one together with the Yoigoshi one if I was organizing these. Yeah, it really did feel kind of pointless. Alright, well now let's move on to Kageboushi proper. Hopefully the ending one is a bit when we get... Kageboushi is one of the longer console arcs. I expect it to be maybe 13 or 14 streams. We'll see. Here we go. Look at this background. This chapter is the answer arc for Someutsushi. It can be read after completing chapter 5, Miyakashi. Akasaka Akasaka! We're following him. Travels to Kageboushi City. I guess that's why they put it with this. To investigate the mysteries of Hinamizawa alongside with Uishi and Tomoe. Alright! Woo! Damn! Oh my god, Akasaka's gonna be... That's like a kind of dream team right there. His investigation leads him to Natsumi Kimiyoshi. Wednesday, July 6, 1983, Kageboushi City. At the beginning of July, Uishi-san and I accompanied a team of local detectives into a residential area. It was in Kageboushi City, a commuter town adjacent to the metropolitan area in the Chubu district. This area is blessed with a robust transportation network, including an airport, and it's famous for its dramatic population increase in recent years.
着きました。
We've arrived. All right, Tomoe is here. I'm so happy to see her again. The car stopped beside an alley, and then the female detective behind the steering wheel, Chief Inspector Tomoe Minai, pointed to the house in front of the windshield. Yep, that's Natsumi's house. A typical single-family home, the likes of which you could see anywhere. There wasn't much of a difference between it and the adjacent house on the other side of the alleyway. However, the house was defiled by a peculiar detail. The no entry tape surrounding the entryway gave the area an unsettlingly alien atmosphere.
Hagasaka-san. Let's go.
Uishi-san and I were sitting in the back seat. We glanced at each other and nodded, then exited the car through the left and right doors. The moment I stepped outside, the scathing heat engulfed my skin, and I immediately began to sweat. I was greeted by the scorching sun and the resonating voices of the cicadas. Even though we arrived before noon, the air was already hot and I couldn't feel any wind. I held the back of my hand to my forehead to wipe away the steady sweat. The sunlight reflecting on the asphalt was dazzling, and it suddenly made me feel dizzy.
It's really hot, huh? This is nice weather, though. Isn't this a perfect day for going out?
After saying that, Uishi-san stretched his back and turned his chin to look up at the sky. Indeed, the sky was clear and blue, with hardly any clouds visible. On a day this sunny, you'd have fun no matter where you went. Ah! And there she is as a baby! I wonder, did Yukie live in this timeline or not? Miyuki's beautiful smile passed through my mind for a moment. Come to think of it, I've already been in this town for about a week. I left her in the care of my in-laws. It's been a while since I acted as a proper father to her.
Miyuki.
Sorry, Miyuki.
Hello, James. Welcome to the stream. After mentally apologizing to my daughter, I took a deep breath.
Minai 警部。家の中には入れますか？
Chief Inspector Minai, can we enter this house?
はい。上に許可も取って鍵を預かっていますので。
Indeed. I've received permission from above to unlock it.
あ、そうだ。
Oh, that's right. While answering that, Chief Inspector Minai remembered something that then went back to the car and turned on the radio. Then she picked up the receiver and opened communications.
こちら一課次長、見ない。
This is First Division Assistant Director Minai.
先日の事件現場に到着しましたので、これより現場検証に向かいます。どうぞ。
I've arrived at the crime scene from the other day. Beginning on-site investigations now. Thank you. This is Kageboushi PS to Assistant Director Minai. Acknowledged. Though the investigation is complete, please avoid altering the crime scene. Let us know if you require Detective Fujita or someone else's assistance. Thank you.
そうですね。現時点では必要なし。
Understood. That won't be necessary at the moment.
1時間ほどで車に戻りますので、例の件について進展があればその時に。
I'll return to the car in about an hour. If there's any progress, then we'll reevaluate at this point in time. At that point in time.
どうぞ。
Thank you. Roger. Thanks. Take all the time you need.
通信終わります。
Ending communication. After that brief exchange, Chief Inspector Minai closed communications. Then she hung up the receiver and quietly grumbled, "All the time you need," while closing the driver's side door.
何か
Is something wrong?
相変わらず豆ですね。
As diligent as ever, huh?
ちゃんと上司さんに伝えてきたんだし、いちいち連絡なんかしなくても大丈夫じゃないですか?
A superior officer shouldn't need to report in regular like that, right?
いえ、これも規則ですから。
No, that's standard protocol.
それに公務で外に出た時は万一のことがあった時に備えて活動内容を逐一報告しておくことが刑事の義務です。
Plus, it's our duty as public servants to report our findings quickly and accurately to be prepared for any circumstances. Chief Inspector Minai offered that retort with a straight face. It was an exemplary response, almost as though it was lifted straight from a textbook. Indeed, what she said held true. As detectives, it's necessary to keep our comrades well informed about our present whereabouts and activities. That serves as our starting point during an investigation, allowing us to reveal the culprit. Moreover, disclosing our activities provides evidence in our defense against accusations of corruption or injustice. Still, it seems like overkill to report in on an investigation in a deserted residential area with hardly anyone in sight. The staff back at the station probably had a bitter smile on their faces when they said, "Take all the time you need." This woman was quite different from Uishi-san.
いやー、それにしても暑いですね。
Oh my. Anyway, it's awfully hot, huh?
ともいちゃんもそのジャケット脱いじゃったらどうですか?
Why don't you take off that jacket, Tomoe-chan?
お気遣いどうも。
I appreciate your concern.
でも私割と暑いのは平気ですから。
However, I don't mind feeling a little hot.
本当に?
Oh, really?
本当です。
Absolutely. Sure enough, Chief Inspector Minai had a cool, composed look on her face, whereas the rest of us were wiping the sweat from our brows. It seemed reasonable to think that she could handle this. Damn. She can take the heat. I personally hate the heat. Seriously. I hate the cold too, but I'd rather be in the cold than the heat because I just hate sweating. Like, I don't mind putting on layers in the cold, but God, I hate the heat so much. Feeling sweaty is so uncomfortable.
まあ、天気が良すぎるのも考えものですね。
Well, I wonder if maybe the weather is too good.
喉が渇いて仕方がない。お?
I can't help but feel a little thirsty. Oh.
どうぞ。
Here you go.
これでよければ。
Take this. Oh my God, James, I'm so sorry. The UK is in the middle of a heat wave. Oh God. Chief Inspector Minai suddenly opened a cooler in the trunk and began passing out cans of coffee, one by one. Coffee? Oh, I guess iced coffee. I didn't realize that they had that way back in the 80s. Thankful for her concern, we accepted them and opened the pull tabs. I drank it immediately, feeling a comforting chill running down my throat.
いやー、生き返った。
Ah, how refreshing.
ともいちゃん、気が利きますね。
Tomoe-chan, I feel a lot better now.
こういう暑い日は自販機を探すのも面倒ですから。
It's difficult to track down a vending machine on such a hot day. Detective Minai responded while collecting her empty cans, then tossed them in the waste bin inside the car. Even so, her expressions felt stiff since departure, and she seemed to be in a bad mood. Did something happen?
何か?
Is something wrong?
あ、いえ。
Oh, it's nothing.
こんないい天気の日に現場検証ってのは気がめいりますね。
Carrying out an investigation on such a warm day feels a little overwhelming.
そうですね。
Indeed.
こういう天気の時は匂いもきつくなりますので、それも嫌な感じです。
The odor can be suffocating in this sort of weather. It's unpleasant.
服に染みつかなければいいんですが。
I hope I don't stain my clothes.
ん
Huh?
そんなに匂いますかね。
Oh
どれど
God.
れ
Odor, you say? Let's see.
Eh?
Huh? Oishi-san suddenly moved his face near Chief Inspector Minai's chest and she jumped in surprise. Then, as soon as she saw Oishi-san's smug smile, she returned to herself, shaking her fist and shouting towards the sky.
おいさん、
Oishi-san!
何するんですか。
What do you think you're doing?
いや
Oh my!
大衆を気にしてるみたいだからちょいと確かめてあげようかと思いましてね。
Y'all seem concerned about body odor, so I thought I would check for you.
大丈夫ですよ。全然匂ってませんから。
It's alright, you don't smell at all.
そんなこと言ってね。
What did you say?
私の匂いじゃなく、事件現場が匂うって意味で言ってるんじゃねえですが。
I was referring to the smell of the crime scene, not myself! How rude. She huffed. Then Uishi-san looked towards Chief Inspector Minai and let out his usual bombastic laugh while swinging his oversized stomach. Uishi-san's words and actions can be rather shocking and appalling, huh? Yeah, seriously. Huh? Come to think of it, that accent Chief Inspector Minai spoke in earlier, I'm certain it was... As soon as Chief Inspector Minai's eyes met mine, her face began to blush and she cleared her throat. Attempting to stay cool, I quickly asked her a question.
見ない警部。出身は茨城ですか。
Chief Inspector Minai, are you from Ibaraki?
Huh?
東京です。
I'm from Tokyo.
でも祖母と母が水戸でしたから、その。
But my mother and grandmother came from Mito, so... Chief Inspector Minai spoke in a hushed tone, clearly embarrassed, but she looked slightly perturbed, tilting her head as she looked at me.
赤坂警視。
Inspector Akasaka.
どうして私の出身が茨城だと？
Why would you ask if I'm from Ibaraki?
いや、実は親戚が美穂に住んでいましたので。
Actually, I have relatives who lived in Miho.
すみません。ちょっと懐かしくて。
Sorry. Maybe I was just being a little nostalgic.
そうでしたか。
Is that so?
私、いえ、自分は去年まで勤務が茨城だったので、祖母の口調が移っちゃって、その。
I was working in Ibaraki until last year. Maybe my grandmother's accent came with me.
まあ普段はうまく隠してるんですけどね。
Well, y'all usually hide it really well.
ちょっといじってあげるだけですぐにこの通り。
There's just a little bit that gave it away.
な
大石さん、殴っていいですか？
Do I need to smack you, Uishi-san? The veins in Chief Inspector Minai's temple throbbed as Uishi-san said, "Ooh, how scary." Their relationship seemed to have been turned upside down. That reminds me, Uishi-san told me about her father the other day. Chief Inspector Minai didn't just move from Tokyo to Ibaraki due to family circumstances. She had a deeper, more depressing reason for moving, and she had no choice.
本当は決して笑い話じゃなかった。
Really? It's not a pleasant story at all.
And never to change the subject, I stepped between Chief Inspector Mina and Uishi-san and asked a question.
つまり夏場の殺しの事件現場は現場検証が厄介になるってことですか？
So you're saying it's difficult to carry out on-site investigations at a murder scene during the summer?
確かに冬場と比べても暑さともろもろで気分が悪くなりますし。
Indeed.
そういうことですよね。
Compared to winter, the heat can take a heavy toll on you. Was that what you were getting at?
あ、はい、そうです。
Huh? Oh, yes. That's right.
おかげでこの前の事件直後は部下の捜査員たちが近場の路地でゲーゲー吐いちゃって、
Oh my
後
god.
始末が大変でした。
That sounds like a really serious medical issue and improper work conditions. Oh, yes, that's right. In my last incident, some of my subordinates were vomiting in the alleyway, and cleaning it up was a major ordeal.
ああ、それ聞きましたよ。
Oh, I heard about that.
翌日3人も体調不良でお休みになったって。
Three officers had to take sick leave the following day.
ともいちゃんはよく平気でしたね。
Were y'all feeling sick too, Tomo-chan?
私も決して気分が良かったわけじゃありません。
I was hardly feeling well myself.
だけど管理職が仕事放り出して休むなんて部下に示しがつきませんから。
However, it is important for managers to serve as an example for their employees, rather than taking a day off.
食欲はさすがにありませんでしたけどね。
But I struggled to eat that day, though. If that's the case, given her appetite. No, I'm sure she wouldn't be comfortable saying directly stating, I love to eat. Oh my god, that's right. She can eat up a storm.
わかりますよ。
I know what you mean.
私も若い頃は現場検証の後料理の何を見てもいろんな想像をしてしまって数日間何も口にできませんでしたね。
When I was young, I couldn't look at a meal without imagining all sorts of terrible things. After carrying out an on-site investigation,
自己管理がなっていないと上司によく叱られたものです。
my boss often scolded me for being unable to take care of myself.
Huh?
そんなケースこそ想像できませんよ。
I can't imagine an inspector doing that. After saying that, Chief Inspector Mina laughed while holding a hand to her mouth. Of course, her reaction seemed somewhat blunt, as if she was distracted or some other thought was running through her head. Was there some concern that she wasn't willing to share with us?
あ、すみません、警視。
Oh, sorry, Inspector.
つい調子に乗って失礼な物言いを。
That just slipped out. It was rude of me to say.
いや別に気にしないでください。
No, please don't worry about it.
むしろ私はあまり肩肘を張って話される方が苦手でしてね。
I'm not very good at speaking and acting tough myself.
Oh, bullshit, Akasaka.
同じ桜の大門を背負う仲間として普通に接していただけたら嬉しいです。
I'd be happy if you could just handle me the same way as anyone else, as comrades in arms.
そうですか？
Is that so?
そうですよ、ともえちゃん。
Of course, Tomoe-chan.
赤坂さんには私と同じように心も体も許す感じで接してくれたらいいんですからね。
Oh my god, jeez. Just like Akasaka-san, I also hope that I can get in touch with you, mind and body.
あんたにその両方とも許した覚えは断じてない。
Both of you are unforgivable.
な
Oishi-san, I hope you don't make fun of her too much.
まあ犯罪者を追って完全懲悪の範を示すことに違いはないってことですよ。
Well, I think we're equally passionate when it comes to pursuing criminals.
ですから捜査のためにご協力をお願いします。
So I appreciate your cooperation on this investigation.
はい。
Oh, right.
こちらこそよろしくご指導お願いします。
It's nice to work with you, too. Thank you for your support.
自分は公安の方とご一緒に仕事をするのが初めてなので、いろいろご迷惑をおかけするかもしれませんが。
This is my first time working with a public safety official, so I'm sure we'll run into some minor hang-ups.
勉強不足で申し訳ありません、警視。
Sorry for not being more prepared, Inspector.
いやいや、そんなことはありませんよ。
Oh no, it's not like that at all.
私は所轄の方々に比べればこういう凶悪事件の現場経験は大したことはありませんので。
Compared to other people in my department, I have very little experience in violent cases.
若輩者で勉強不足なのは警備よりもむしろ私の方ですよ。
そんなご謙遜を。
I'm still young and far less experienced than you, Chief.
That's very humble of you.
自分は学も知識も浅いゆえ、偉そうに言えるほど現場を知っているわけではありませんので、警視にそう言われると重はゆい限りです。
It's rare for an officer to speak so frankly about their lack of experience.
たくさん経験したところで慣れるものではありませんし、
Even
偉い
with,
というわけでもありませんよ。
God damn it.
even with a lot of experience, it's hard to get used to it.
ものになるのかならないのかは本人の資質というやつですからね。
Even with a lot of experience, it's hard to get used to it. I'd worry about what it would do to me on a personal level.
恐縮です。
Sorry for troubling you. Even so, I'd expect no less from the woman who was selected as a future executive by the Metropolitan Police. Even if her subordinates turned away feeling sick, she would run in searching for clues. On top of that, she speaks frankly and has a humble personality. I get the feeling she's a little too serious, though, but I don't understand why Uishi-san thinks so highly of her.
とりあえずまだ昼前で本格的には暑くなっていませんから。
The heat right now is more bearable than it will be later in the day.
なるべく早めに済ませましょう。
Let's get this done as soon as possible.
そうですね。
I agree.
それじゃ行きましょうか。
Well then, shall we go?
Alright, moving on to the crime scene. Then we all turned to face that single family home. A barrier of yellow tape was stretched all around the outer wall. The house itself looked peaceful in comparison, masking the fact that it was actually the scene of a crime. A family of 4 had been living happily in this house. A father in the prime of his career, and a mother who was a hard-working housewife. And 2 lovely kids. It was a typical family, like you'd find anywhere. That's why I still can't believe the tragedy that happened in this house a few days ago.
Huh?
Something felt off in one corner of the house, and I turned to face it. Before my eyes, I saw countless pieces of paper attached to the wall, talismans with strange writing on them. Yep, this is what her grandmother did. Looking closely, I could see eerie curse-like words written lightly in red ink. I reached out to touch one of them, but a sudden breeze struck one of them and it fell to the ground. At the same time, I noticed the name Hatakeyama engraved into the nameplate that was hidden behind the talisman until a moment ago.
畠山か。
Hatakeyama.
ひなみ沢の御三家と違って、ただ出身がひなみ沢というだけの普通の家族です。
Unlike the 3 families from Hinamizawa, this was just an ordinary family who must also happen to be from Hinamizawa.
それに例の事件の直後でしたから接触を控えていたのですが。
I was waiting to make contact, since that other case happened yet so recently.
すみません。裏目に出ました。
I'm sorry, and that seems to have backfired. After saying that, Chief Inspector Minai hung her head. Then the rest of us did the same. There was no denying that we made a flawed assumption. The family here was involved in that other tragedy, so we assumed that another incident couldn't happen to the same family.
Huh?
Just then, out of nowhere, I heard the sound of ringing bells. I stopped without thinking and looked around. Oh, wow. There it was again. A peculiar sound that didn't belong. It sounded vaguely similar to a cat's bell, but completely different. As if it sounded like someone's footsteps. Oh, wow.
おや
Oh!
どうかしましたか
いえ、
Oh, it's nothing.
大石さん。何か音が聞こえませんか？
Oishi-san, did you hear anything just now?
音ですか。
Hear a sound?
In response to my inquiry, Ueshi-san cautiously surveyed his surroundings. However, he couldn't see anything suspicious, so he turned back to me and shook his head.
何も聞こえませんが。
I didn't hear anything.
ともいちゃんはどうです？
What about y'all, Tomoe-chan?
私も特には。
Same. I didn't hear anything in particular.
どんな音でしたか？
Same here. I didn't think anything in hear anything in particular. What kind of sound was it?
あ、いや、
Huh. It's nothing.
すみません。気のせいかもしれません。
Sorry. I guess my mind's playing tricks on me.
I must have misheard it. I'm a little tired. In order to escape from their gaze, I turned behind me and looked toward a small field outside. I could see some vegetables planted nearby, but they all looked withered. Were they dead? I couldn't sense any life form from them. And with all the houses lined up nearby, the presence of a small field like this was rather strange.
あの畑、税金対策ですよ。
That small farm is a tax measure.
農地だと不動産にかかる税金が安くて済みますからね。
It's there because the property tax on farmland is cheaper. Did she notice my strange expression? Chief Inspector Mina stepped beside me as she said that.
税金対策
Tax measures.
ええ、
Right.
この辺りは地価が数年前と比べて格段に高騰しているんです。
Land prices in the area have skyrocketed in the past few years.
それに加えて再来年には地下鉄の駅がこの近くに開通しますので完全な売り手市場。
On top of that, they're opening a subway station nearby next year, so it's a complete seller's market.
だからあの土地の持ち主はそれまで農地として節税しているんだって聞きました。
So I heard that the landowners are saving money by having it taxed as agricultural land. Really? My god, how did they justify that?
あの野菜はどうするんでしょ
Then what do they do with the vegetables?
近所の人の話だと好き勝手に取り放題だそうです。
According to the neighbors, you can take all you like without needing to ask.
それでも余った分は秋頃になったら全て焼き捨てているみたいですね。
According to the neighbors, you can take all you like without needing to ask. Even so, it seems like they'll all wither away by autumn. Such a lonely story. The land was no longer able to serve its original function, and only existed to generate wealth. This must be another consequence of the recent economic boom.
それにしても嫌に静かですね。
Even so, it's awfully quiet, isn't it?
まるで廃墟の町ですよ。
Like a ghost town.
ここは新興のベッドタウンですから昼間は人が少なくなります。
This is a commuter town, so there are very few people during the daytime.
商店街もちょっと離れていますからね。
This is a commuter town. Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that line already. The market district is also pretty far from here.
とはいえ普段なら主婦の方々が 道端とか近くの公園とかで話し込んだりしているのですが。
But like usual, you have housewives chatting at the roadside or in the nearby parks.
さすがに今はか。
Like usual, huh?
Chief Inspector Minai silently nodded to Ishi-san's mutterings. Indeed, not a lot of time had passed since the incident occurred. Given the circumstances, it was hard to believe that people could be engaging in feckless idle gossip.
それにしても都会の建物はやはりおしゃれな作りをしていますね。
Anyway, these urban houses are awfully fancy, aren't they?
赤坂さんのお宅もこんな感じですか？
Is your house like this one too, Akasaga-san? Anyway, these urban houses are awfully fancy, aren't they?
Oh, I already read that line,
Yeah.
sorry.
私の住まいはもっと都心寄りの古くからの住宅街ですから。
No, my house is closer to downtown. It's in an old residential district.
こんなに小綺麗な建物はないですよ。
There aren't any buildings this small.
But even though it was a beautiful cityscape, I didn't envy it at all. Everything was sun-baked and cracked. It felt inorganic, colorless, and tasteless.
自分はこういう街にはあまり住みたくないですね。
I'm not all that interested in living in the city.
誰かと一緒に暮らすならもっと
Living comfortably with someone. Interesting. Is she not interested, or is she like wanting to live with somebody?
失言でした。忘れてください。
Interesting. A slip of the tongue. Forget I said anything. It's okay, Oe. I'm just a bit tired. This time, I blushed along with Chief Inspector Minai, and then cleared my throat. After seeing her smile, Uishi-san sucked down the end of a cigarette, and then crushed under his shoe as he looked back towards me and spoke.
さて、それじゃあ行きましょう。
Well, I suppose we should get going.
ともいちゃん、お願いできますか？
Tomoe-chan, would y'all please?
さっきから気になってたんですけど、
It's been bothering me for a little while now.
いい加減私のことはちゃんと見ないって上の名字で呼んでくれませんか？
I know what you're thinking, Tomoe, but he literally does this with everybody. He even does this with his own subordinate, Kuma-chan. Could you address me properly by the name Minai, please?
ん？気に入りませんか？
Huh? Y'all don't like it?
好き嫌いの話じゃないです。
It's not about likes and dislikes.
子供じゃあるまいし、公務の時くらいはきっちり節度を守ってください。
I'm not a child, so please treat me with respect when we're on official business.
周りに示しがつかないでしょうが。
You're setting a bad example to the people around us.
でもそれだと今度は妹さんと区別がつかなくなっちゃうじゃないですか？
But if I did that, wouldn't it be hard to distinguish between you and your sister?
つきます。
That's enough.
双子じゃないし、顔だって似てないでしょうが。
We're not twins. We look completely different.
だいたい同じ見ないでも、あっちは巡査で私は警部なんだから、そんなに区別って言うならちゃんと見ない警部って呼んでください。
Oh my god, she is really sticking about this. In fact, if the name Minai isn't enough to distinguish us, then you can use my proper title, Chief Inspector Minai, when referring to me. And there's the train. Jeez.
Huh?
しかしですね、私は親しい人には肩書きなしでフレンドリーに呼びかけるのがポリシーなんですよ。
I love the way he said that. Friendly and polishy. Like, that was very amusing.
But it's my policy to refer my close friends without a title.
ねえ、赤坂さん。
Right, Akazaka-san?
I vaguely laughed, trying to evade answering exactly. It would be nice if Uishi-san called me Inspector Akasaka once in a while.
というわけなので、少し多めに見てくださいな、ともいちゃん。
So that's my reason. I hope y'all understand, Tomoe-chan.
もういいです。
Enough.
さっさと入ってください。
Just hurry up and get moving. Not wanting to waste any more time on the matter, Chief Inspector Mina lowered her shoulder and lifted the tape to slip underneath. She gave Uishi-san and I a nod after passing through. So we slipped under and stepped in front of the house. My God, it took them a long time to get in here. Jeez. The pacing is certainly quite slow in the beginning here already. By all rights, entering a crime scene in a region outside my jurisdiction is a major overreach of authority. However, I was able to get special permission to enter this house today, thanks to my title as a public security official, and also because this woman was an acquaintance of Uishi-san. Actually, the older sister of his acquaintance.
すみませんね、警部。
I'm sorry, Chief Inspector.
大石さんも悪気があるわけじゃないんです。
Uishi-san means... Well, it's just that...
分かっています。
I know.
別に自分は怒っていませんので。
I'm not all that upset. After saying that, Chief Inspector Mina steps beyond the tape, devoid of the emotional atmosphere that was present a moment ago, and I follow behind her. Despite what she said, I could feel the anger permeating through her back, and it made me restless. I'll have to keep an eye on Uishi-san in the future. I felt something near my feet, so I took a quick glance. I stepped on another sheet of paper. The black, dirty, poisonous color gave an unpleasant impression. What is this?
どうしました、警視？
What is it, Inspector?
あ、いや。
Huh, it's nothing. Huh?
Chief Inspector Mina looked back. She must have noticed my rough stop. The moment I turned to respond, that bizarre sound echoed in my ears again. Oh God, Akasaka! For a moment, I completely forgot about the summer heat as a frightening chill ran down my back and coursed through my entire body. Was that really just a hallucination? Or maybe I'm possessed by the Ueshido-sama that all the villagers in Hinamizawa are so afraid of.
まさかな。
No way.
I shook my head with a bitter smile to dispel my concerns about these delusions. Then I began stepping forward again until I caught up with Uishi-san. First, we put on the investigation gloves that Chief Inspector Mina handed to us. Then I followed behind Uishi-san as he opened the door and stepped into the entrance. It was incredibly quiet inside the house, and a distinct odor reached my nose. The odor reminded me of rusty nails, and it grew stronger as I stepped forward. I quickly slid the filthy door open. My God, this house has gone to shit in the past since the time between when she was living there and now. I'm just gonna go take a little bit of bathroom break. I will be right back. All right, let's see. We are back. I can't believe that their house fell into such disarray, or maybe the crime scene is just this way. It looks like there was a big fight here. I quickly slid the filthy door open. In that room, I saw a literal sea of blood.
この部屋が犯行現場ですか？
Is this the crime scene?
ええ、
Yes.
実際に自分の目で見ると悲惨さが一層伝わってきますね。
It's far more depressing seeing with your own eyes. Oh my god. Traces of the incident were marked by the investigators. This is surprising me. I thought we were going to start a new fragment. But it looks like we're not. At least, you know, not yet anyway. Destroyed furniture. Scratch marks on the tatami mat. All of which told the horrors of this tragedy. And most importantly, the dark red stains spread across the tatami mats highlighted the place where the corpses of the inhabitants were found. After seeing the incident itself, the markings made by the forensics team seemed meaningless. This is the image of hell itself. For a while, the three of us could only stand silently beside the crime scene. Intending to clear my mind, I turned my attention to the report that Chief Inspector Minai gave me. The victims were the homeowners, Masao Takayama and his wife Yoshiko. Okay, I thought this was... Okay, so this is the Takayama incident. I thought they were talking about Natsumi's house. But didn't Natsumi's whole incident happen maybe only like a day after this, didn't it? So, oh god. According to the initial investigation team, Masao shot himself in the head from close range with a hunting rifle and died instantly. Oh my god. I guess, did he pull the trigger with his toe or something? Because a hunting rifle is pretty long. And the direct cause of death for Yoshiko was blood loss from a close-range gunshot to her chest. So he killed her and then himself. Oh my god. Although she didn't die instantly, the hospital eventually confirmed her death due to the excessive bleeding. And the two children were...
ひどいものです。
It's terrible. Chief Inspector Mina grimaced as she muttered those words, attempting to dispel the heavy atmosphere. Those words perfectly characterized our impressions. 3 years ago, Masao's work transferred him to this location, which caused the 4 members of the Takayama family to move here from Hinamizawa. It's horrific for an attack like this to happen in such an ordinary household. The suspect is Masao Takayama, who went on a rampage in the middle of the night with his gun. How did he even own a gun? Isn't that illegal in Japan? In any event, the others were close enough nearby that... And then, Yoshiko stepped into an unexpected nightmare. My god. Footprints were gradually left around the room, where the culprit walked through the red floor. His whole body was bathed in blood. I wonder if he continued seeking bloodshed.
鑑識の話では、県警全域の記録でもこれだけの事件は近年稀だそうです。
Even after reviewing prefectural police records, the forensics team claimed that incidents like this are rare in recent years.
しかも、被疑者は捜査員が突入する前に自殺。
And furthermore, the suspect committed suicide before investigators could arrive. Hello, Void Dweller. I wouldn't say you missed very much. Basically, we're starting at an interesting point where Tomoe, Akasaka, and Uishi are all investigating that murder that happened right before the big incident at Natsumi's house. We didn't start with a new fragment yet, right away it seems. And furthermore, the suspect committed suicide before investigators could arrive.
おかげで原因も詳細も一切が不明のまま。
Thanks to that, the motive and so many details are left unknown.
お子さん2人のうち1人は銃撃を逃れて病院に運び込まれたと聞きましたが。
So yeah, Void Dweller, you didn't miss too much at all.
Did y'all hear that one of the two children escaped the shooting and was taken to a nearby hospital?
Oh, really?
ええ、病院からの連絡では峠を越して今朝意識を回復したそうです。
Yeah, it is. This has taken place a bit before that, though. I imagine, maybe not, because they're visiting the crime scene. So it's very possible that she could have died already. Oishi lived in Someutsushi, Void Dweller. He was alive. I think so, right? Wasn't he? I'm pretty sure he lived. He did, in fact, because he's the one who told Tomoe about the disaster. He lived in Someutsushi timeline. Yes, the hospital reported that the patient regained consciousness this morning.
ただ家族が全員死んでたった一人だけ生き残って、彼女は今後どうするのか。
But she was the only survivor, so I wonder what will become of her from here on. After saying that, Chief Inspector Minai bit her lip with a look of contempt on her face. Shall we be pleased with the fortune that someone survived, or should we mourn the misfortune that they could not die together? Unrelated parties like us had no right to answer. In this incident, it seems like that's it. I wonder if this was some sort of religious ceremony? Or a ritual to cleanse impurities? It was a gruesome possibility, just as the name Blood Offering implied. Suddenly, the strange talismans I saw by the front door came to mind. If this was a ceremony, then were they all human sacrifices? I shook my head and looked upward to escape my terrible thoughts. And where I turned to look, I saw a shrine seated on a shelf that seemed to be looking down at me.
これは
What is this?
そうですね。
Right, there.
祀られているのはお社様ですな。
That there is a shrine for Oyashiro-sama.
Sensing my intention, Uishi-san looked me in the eyes and nodded.
近所の人の証言だと、何でも祖父のカズマは熱心な信奉者だったとか。
And yeah, he was the guy that Natsumi met at the nursing home where she worked. According to the testimony of a neighbor, the grandfather of the household, Kazuma, was a devout follower.
悪さをした近所の子供たちに注意するときにも必ずその名前が出ていたようです。
Even when simply scolding children in the neighborhood for misbehaving, that name always seemed to come up.
お社様の罰が当たるか。
The wrath of Oyashiro-sama, huh?
私も最初はよくあるお年寄りの例え話だと思っていました。
At first, I disregarded it as the sort of fable you'd hear from the elderly.
でも例の事件と翌日に起こったこの事件を知ってからは。
However, after learning about the incident the next day,
あ、すみません。
I'm sorry.
こちらも事前に危うい情報を掴んでおきながら、結局。
We had advanced warning signs of the danger, but in the end... Chief Inspector Minai bit down on her nails to ease her regret. In an effort to console her, Uishi-san shrugged his shoulders, then lightly patted her on the shoulder.
お気遣いなく。
Don't worry about it.
これでまだ終わったわけじゃないんですから。
After all, this ain't over yet.
ね、赤坂さん。
Ain't that right, Akasaka-san?
Uishi-san slowly turned to face me while saying that. I slowly nodded in agreement.
畠山一馬は確か無役の一般村民という話でしたよね。
Kazuma Takayama was an ordinary villager, wasn't he?
え
Right.
ひなみ沢の御三家、特に園崎家と比べれば大した仕事をやっていたわけじゃありません。
Unlike the three families of Inamizawa, and especially compared to the Sonozakis, this family was insignificant.
それでもよく調べてみましたら、数年前に体調を崩すまで年寄り連中の末席で議事に加わっていたみたいですよ。
Nevertheless, if y'all look closely, you'll find he was involved with the other elderly people in proceedings, until he became physically incapable a few years ago.
であれば、その信心の強さもうなずけますね。
So in that case, it corroborates the strength of his religious faith. I vividly recalled my memories of fear 5 years ago. A remote village deep within the mountains, Hinamizawa. I visited the village once while investigating a kidnapping incident on behalf of Tokyo. Unfortunately, the curtain was closed midway, so the truth of that incident remains a mystery. However, the state of the village and the villagers' fervent fear of Oyashida-sama's curse were engraved into my heart. They say Oyashida-sama is not like a god or Buddha who extends a hand of salvation, but a wrathful demon. Their faith in Oyashida-sama bred in their isolated space, and it dominated their behavior for years without fading. And it weighed heavily on the hearts of those who left the village, leaving deep scars. Making our way out of the living room, we headed for the next room over. This room belonged to the victim from the other day, Kazuma Takayama. And it was adorned with a shrine, just like the one from the living room. No, it was even larger.
ここにもあるんですね。
There's one in here too, huh?
A large amount of red blood was spread across the tatami mats, along with traces of the forensics team's investigation. This was where the suspect, Masao, stuffed the muzzle of the rifle down his throat and pulled the trigger. Ugh. How did he do that with a hunting rifle? The shot came from close range, so the corpse was in terrible condition. Whoops. Putting it into words is making me feel dizzy.
ところで、巴警部。
By the way, Chief Inspector Tomoe.
次に行ったら本気で蹴っ飛ばしますよ。
Next time you call me that, I'm seriously gonna kick you. Alright?
冗談ですよ。
It was only a joke.
彼女は尋問できそうなんですか？
So, the girl still hasn't been questioned yet.
ええ、まあ、
Yes, well... Chief Inspector Minai nodded vaguely in response to Uishi-san's question. By girl, he meant the eldest child, the survivor of this incident, Aoi Takayama. Oh wow, I wonder if she's going to be a character in this. She received a minor injury on her head at the time of the incident, when the suspect struck her with a blunt object.
まだ若いので回復も早そうです。
Since she's still young, she should be able to recover quickly.
体力が回復した段階で医師立ち会いのもとで事情聴取を予定しています。
Once her physical condition is improved, we plan to listen to her testimony under a doctor's supervision.
の割に言い方がらしくありませんね。
Actually, it sounds like you're avoiding speaking to her.
何か問題でも？
Is there a problem?
いえ、まだ何とも。
No, it's nothing.
家庭の域を出ませんので。
I just want to avoid jumping to any conclusions. After that evasive answer, Chief Inspector Minai bent down on her knees to examine the sliding door more closely.
現在、彼女は警察病院内の特別病棟で主治医をつけて治療中です。
She is in a special ward at the police hospital at the moment, receiving treatment from the head physician.
数日中には連絡がもらえるものと思います。
I think we'll be able to speak with her in a few days.
とはいえ、体は無事でも心はそういかないでしょう。
Even though her physical condition is improving, that doesn't necessarily help her mental state.
How
How is she doing in that regard?
わかりません。
I don't know.
弟が殺害されたところを見ていたかもしれませんし、
She may have witnessed her younger brother's murder.
ただ事件の詳細を知っているのは彼女一人なので、慎重を期した上で深い内容を聴取したいと思っています。
However, since she is the only person who knows the details of this incident, I want to be especially cautious and give her careful consideration.
深い内容？
Careful consideration.
Uishi-san held his finger to his temple in thought, then turned around and addressed Chief Inspector Minai.
ともいちゃん。
Tomo-chan.
勝手ばかりで申し訳ありませんが、その事情聴取よろしければ我々も参加させていただけませんか？
I'm sorry if this is a selfish request, but would y'all allow us to join you when you listen to her story?
その子の話が何か参考になるかもしれませんので。
Tomo, that girl's testimony could be tremendously helpful.
それは構いません。
Not a problem,
ただあまり突っ込んだ内容は控えてください。
but please refrain from pressing her for details.
ただでさえ今回の事件はデリケートな部分が多いものですから。
After all, this case has a lot of delicate parts.
分かっておりますって。
Right, I understand that.
ともえちゃん、私のことを何だと思ってるんです？
Tomo-chan, y'all really think that way of me?
Yes, I do.
これでも警官の端くれなんですよ。
That I'm some kind of loose cannon cop who doesn't play by the rules?
そうでしたね。
Exactly.
いい勉強になりましたよ。いろいろな意味で。
Oh my god, we're back to the sassy Tomoe! Nice work picking up on the subtext there.
そう言ってもらえるとありがたいな。
I appreciate your willingness to speak so directly.
ねえ赤坂さん。
Right, Akasaka-san?
Then Chief Inspector Minai glared at Uishi-san with her eyes open wide. I wonder if she has a similar impression of me too. Please forgive me. Yeah, it is nighttime, Void Dweller. Generally, we have the door to the bedrooms closed, and they're really well insulated, so nobody can hear me as long as their doors are closed. And I'm also at the other end of the house. The incident began the last month in Inamizawa. In the end of June 1983, near Shishibone City, Hinamizawa Village. Volcanic gas suddenly erupted in the middle of the night and enveloped the entire village. As a result of that unprecedented disaster, the entire village was wiped out. An emergency declaration was issued before the cause was fully understood, so all personnel have been strictly prohibited from entering Hinamizawa Village, turning it into an isolated island of unreachable land. No, I did get earplugs, but I did. But they don't need them anymore. The shocking news quickly spread across all of Japan, and people began wildly speculating. Within a day, the tragedy had made it to the mass media. Nowadays, the news is more like an entertainment product, with heavily sensationalized content that seems far from the truth. And as time goes on, I wonder if the nature of the tragedy will be lost entirely. The people following the incident for their own amusement will quickly find another subject to pursue on a whim, and gradually forget about it. That's the way of the world. Nevertheless, there are so many unknown elements of this unprecedented disaster, and Oyashiro-sama's curse is the backbone of it all. In order to investigate this incident, Uishi-san and I have been searching for people from Minamizawa and questioning them about their circumstances and what they know about the curse. However, surveying the former villagers turned out to be extremely difficult. Even when an opportunity arose, some misfortune would inevitably befall the families we were speaking to, causing our leads to dry up. And this time, it culminated in the Takayama family murder case. If news of this incident reaches the public, it will become even harder to get information about this curse from Hinamizawa natives. And their silence only adds more credibility to the concept of Oyashiro-sama's curse. After finishing our examination in the Japanese-style room, we returned to the living room.
窓を開けますか。
Can we open a window in here?
Uishi-san wiped the sweat from his forehead and went to open the window next to the kitchen. A refreshing breeze blew in. Although it managed to cast off the lingering heat that had covered the entire house, it did nothing to shake off the lingering stench of the tragedy in this room. Right, the source of that foul air was malice. That's not an easy thing to wash away. It really is a long prologue, seriously. Haunted by those thoughts, I decided to breathe a little of the outside air, so I leaned out the window and inhaled a deep breath. After breathing that fresh air, the gears in my mind began to turn again. For the time being, I'll have to take some pictures of the crime scene, so that I'll be able to verify the circumstances later.
I'd like to return and grab the camera.
見ない警部。車のキーを貸していただけますか？
Could you lend me the car keys, Chief Inspector Minai?
あ、はい。
Of course.
何か写真でしたら私のをお貸ししますが。
We have some pictures of our own. Would you like us to lend them to you?
いえ、せっかく持ってきましたから、自分用の資料も用意しておきたいので。
No thanks. I brought the camera all the way here, so I'd like to prepare my own materials.
わかりました。どうぞ。
Understood. Go right ahead. After taking the key from her, I proceeded out of the room. Oh my god, what's going on? The moment I turned the knob on the front door, a familiar sensation reverberated through my body. The gentle warmth of the human air ran down my back. I opened the door and swallowed as I stepped outside. As if the silence earlier had only been an illusion, the cicadas all began to cry out all at once. Having suddenly been reacquainted with reality, I stopped in my tracks for a moment. Although the only thing separating us was a single door, I couldn't hear the cry of the cicadas at all until a moment ago. When I suddenly looked up at the Takayama house, it seemed like it was enshrouded in an ominous, melancholy atmosphere. Though I took pride in being a realist, the word hell ran through my mind. Oh, what's going on? I looked back to see the door had violently slammed shut, perhaps due to the wind. I licked my lips as a feeling of dread began to emerge inside of me. Intending to shake off my unease, I rushed to the police car and opened the door to the back seat. When I turned my head, I suddenly noticed that the light on the radio was flashing. I was feeling a little out of place. For the time being, I decided to pick up the receiver and answer.
はい。こちら11号車。
Hello there. This is car number 11.
Oh god, I forgot what voice to give her. Ah, is that Akasaka-san? Thank you so much for helping out. This is Madoka. I heard a cheerful female voice coming in through the radio. She said her name was Madoka. This must be Officer Madoka Minai, a female police officer in the Transportation Division, and the younger sister of Chief Inspector Minai, who is helping us investigate the house today. Oishi-san said that she was an acquaintance from long ago, and the circumstances were not very amusing. No, it is not Madoka Magica. Oh, that's right. She was mentioned a lot, but I don't think I gave her a voice yet. I'll just give her the Jessica voice, since she's cheerful.
Ah, どうも。
Thank you.
何かありましたか？
Did you have something to report?
お姉ちゃん見ない警部はいますか？
Is this, I mean, Chief Inspector mean idea?
花田刑事から至急連絡を取りたいとことづけを頼まれたんですけど。
Detective Hanada asked me to speak with her, and he said it was urgent.
至急？
Urgent.
何か起きたのですか？
Did something happen?
詳細は不明ですが至急とのことです。
I don't know the details, but he insisted that it was urgent.
わかりました。伝えます。
Understood. I'll let her know.
よろしくです。
It's nice to meet you.
それでは。
Well, all right then. After closing communications, I returned to the Takayama house and let Chief Inspector Minai know.
花田くんが私に？
Hanada-kun asked for me?
What でしょう？
What could he want?
さあ、そこまでは。
Well, I'm not sure.
それにしてもなんで花田さんじゃなくてまどかちゃんが連絡を？
For that matter, why did Nada-san ask through Madoka-chan?
多分用心のためでしょう。
Maybe it was precaution.
大石さんたちの捜査に協力していることは署のお偉方にも秘密にしていますから。
Maybe because I've kept this fact that I'm cooperating with you on this investigation a secret from the higher ups at the station.
いやそうじゃなくて。
No, that's not it.
なんで花田さんが直接連絡してこないのかなと。
Why wouldn't Nada-san just contact you directly?
それは。
Well, after saying that, Chief Inspector Minai shrugged her shoulders and began to explain it with a hint of a sigh in her voice.
今朝ここに出てくるときにミスった部下を怒りすぎてしまいまして、それでみんな怖がっているのだと。
This morning, I got a little carried away criticizing my subordinates for a mistake, so everyone is a little scared now.
失礼な話です。
It was uncalled for.
笑い事ではありません。
This is no laughing matter. Chief Inspector Minai couldn't help but give us a dirty glare after we suddenly burst out laughing. It certainly can be unnerving having a conversation on the radio where you can't see the other party face to face. And this woman had a particularly imposing presence. A less gutsy person would naturally avoid it whenever possible.
そもそもうちの署は情けない男が多すぎる。
There are too many pathetic men at my station.
それもこれもトップの署長があんなだからいけないんです。
And it doesn't help that the chief on top is like that, so there's nothing I can do about it.
まあまあそう言わずに。
My, my, that goes without saying.
昔はよらばきゅうなんて感じの名手の刑事さんだったんですよ。
What happened to the old days when detectives were ruthless?
とても信じられません。
It's hard to believe.
大体
It's hard to believe. All of it.
それに
Also,
もうすぐともえちゃんの弟になるお方じゃありませんか。
Oh my god, it's this.
There's also that man who's about to become Tomo-chan's brother, right?
There we go, silly music time. After Ushi-san spoke the word she at least wanted to hear, Chief Inspector Mina reeled back with a look of disgust on her face. In reality, her younger sister Madoka-san was currently engaged to the Chief Yamaoki, the man in charge of Kageboushi Station. I too was shocked to learn of that. Chief Yamaoki is an elderly man, old enough to be an experienced father, and Madoka-san is a cute young lady who could easily pass as a student. Well, I guess she's just, one of those girls who's gonna marry someone old and then, wait until he dies and live her middle-aged years in luxury. When they stand side by side, they don't look like lovers, or like a parent and child. FBI, open up! Jesus Christ.
でも所長さん、真剣な交際だって聞きましたよ。
But I heard that she and the chief are in a serious relationship.
何でも近いうちにご両親に彼女を紹介するって言ってましたし、その時には巴ちゃんも。
Anytime soon, he'll be introducing her to his parents. And then by then, Tomo-chan will.
Oh, come on. You really think his parents are alive?
冗談じゃありません。
This is no joke.
あんなおっさんにお姉さんと呼ばれるくらいなら、私は今すぐに出家して一生属世間から離れて暮らします。
If such an old man is going to be calling me sister-in-law, I might as well rush home immediately and live my life in seclusion.
大体まどかもまどかだ。
Really, Madoka just has to be Madoka.
もともと年上受けが良くて、学校の先輩はおろか先生にまで告白されてましたが、まさか結婚相手までそっち系で行くなんて一体何考えてるんだ。
Back in the day, she had confessed to the teachers in school that she was interested in a good upperclassman. So what on earth is she thinking now?
いや、私に言われましても。
No, not even if you told me.
しかも
And furthermore,
しかもその相手が私の上司だなんて。
the person she chose just happens to be my boss!
これって何かの嫌がらせ？
Is this some kind of harassment?
それとも仕返し？
Her retaliation?
因果応報で自業自得？
Divine retribution!
っていうか、それを言うなら私が一体何をした？
Even if that's so, what can I do?
まあまあ。
No, no.
そもそも姉の私が未だに独り身だってのに、クソ忙しい中くだらない報告ばっかりしてきやがって。
Shh. And to begin with, I'm the elder sister, but I'm so damn busy with work that I'm still single!
この前なんかこっちが朝方まで残業してた直後にご機嫌で、昨日はカオルさんとデートでフランス料理のフルコースだったよって。
She cheerfully came in singing to me. I had a full course-fed meal on a date with Kageboushi yesterday. After I had just finished working overtime until the morning. God damn that Madoka.
ああ、そうですか、よかったわね。
Oh, is that so? How wonderful!
どうせ私の夜食はコンビニの粉っぽいカレーよ。
At any rate, my late night dinner was pounded curry from the convenience store.
さらにこの前なんか、ねえ、あの駅前のホテルから見える景色って最高よねって。
And before that, hey, the view from my hotel in front of the station was so amazing.
ああ、そうですか、よかったわね。
Oh, is that so? How wonderful!
こっちはブラインド越しに汚いビルだけが見える最悪の景色よ。
My view was terrible. I could only see the buildings that weren't covered in by the blinds.
まだあった。
And still,
私が仮眠室に向かう途中で会った時なんか、ロイヤルスイートって素敵よね。ベッドがふかふかで気持ちいいのよ。だと
when I'm struggling to get in a quick nap, the royal suite is what's handsome, and the bed is so soft and comfortable. Huh?
そうですか、よかったわね。
Oh, is that so? How wonderful!
こっちはカビ臭い毛布を羽織ってせんべい布団に潜り込んで1時間の小休止よ。
I spent the past hour tossing and turning on a paper-thin futon covered in a moly-selling blanket.
落ち着いてください、見ない警部。
Please calm down, Chief Inspector Minai.
What trauma could have caused this? Chief Inspector Minai has completely lost her cool and gone into a screaming rampage. Is her childlike recklessness hiding behind her serious demeanor? She's certainly an interesting woman. I'm starting to feel a little sorry for her.
とりあえず見ない警部。
Anyway, Chief Inspector Minai,
連絡を取っていただけますか。
would you mind contacting him?
お見苦しいところを失礼しました。
Sorry. I'm ashamed of the way I was acting just now. I somehow managed to calm her by reminding her of the message. Still breathing heavily, the Chief Inspector cleared her throat to hide the redness in her face, then looked up to say, Roger.
それじゃあ連絡してきます。
Well then, I'll go make contact.
電話ボックスってこの辺にあったかな。
先ほど通り過ぎたテニスコートの脇にあったと思いますが。
Oh, I missed something. Still breathing heavily, the Chief Inspector cleared her throat to hide the redness in her face, then looked up to say, Roger. Well then, I'll go make contact. I wonder if there's a phone booth around here.
I passed one earlier. I think it was by the tennis court.
なんでしたら畠山家の電話をお借りしては。
Why don't you just use the phone inside the Takayama house?
まだ通じているようですよ。
We're still at the scene.
いえ、やっぱり無線の方が早いです。
Okay, there should be about 20 minutes left in the stream. Oh, really good timing actually then. No, the radio is faster after all.
それじゃあちょっと失礼します。
Anyway, please excuse me. This is a long-ass prologue, my god.
ああ、私もちょっと換気に。
Ah, I could use a cigarette.
タバコは車外でお願いしますよ。
Would you please refrain from smoking in the car? After I returned the car keys, Wishi-san and Chief Inspector Minai exited the Takayama residence. And I began to wonder if something happened back in town. There have been so many terrible incidents related to the curse in Yanamizawa. The great disaster of unknown origin, the series of mysterious deaths, and now the strange family murder case. The thing we are searching for is buried deep in this darkness. And that's fine. I can't help but believe that making contact with Chief Inspector Minai will be the fragment that will unravel the truth. You have no idea how close you are, Akasaka.
そうだな。
Right.
While waiting for the two of them to return, I decided to visit the second floor of the Takayama residence. After going up the stairs and turning left, I found the master bedroom. A business suit was casually laying across the double bed. Perhaps the wife Yoshiko got caught up in the incident right after her husband got home from work. This room was still full of lingering hints of life. The room across the hallway on the other side of the master bedroom belonged to the elder daughter of the Takayama family, Aoi.
Huh.
It was a lovely room decorated with licensed merchandise and stuffed toys like an elementary school student's room. Only one peculiar thing in the room stood out. There was a well-organized study desk, and the locked drawer had been forced open. There was nothing inside. Did someone take something out? Who on earth would do that? And for what purpose? I'm wondering too. Huh. While writing down the questions that sprang to mind in my investigation notebook, I quickly left the room. Though she was a bit older, being in this young girl's room painfully reminded me of Miyuki. I cleared my throat once more to straighten myself out, then moved towards the last room at the end of the hallway. But the door was difficult to open. This room must have been poorly built. Uh-oh. So I pushed hard against the door while turning the knob, and it made an unpleasant rattling sound as it finally opened. A dark mass suddenly jumped into my eyes, and had the disgusting sticky smell of Indian ink. That's a very specific thing. I have no idea what Indian ink is. My legs suddenly halted. The surfaces of the walls around the room, they were filled with the word curse, with nowhere to stand. Every corner of the room was covered. Not even a millimeter gap was left unfilled. Oh my god, wow.
なんだこれは。
What is this? Those words instinctively escaped me upon seeing this tremendous sight. Even when I covered my eyes with my hand, it seemed like a flood of words poured in through my eyelids. I timidly opened my eyes a crack to look around. The words that covered the entire room were mostly indecipherable, and the bizarre notes I saw near the entryway were all stretched all around. The windows were covered with a thick black curtain that blocked out all external light. Just then I suddenly had a feeling of being watched, so I quickly looked back. Oh my god, did he see something? A hanging corpse! In a small alcove, it looked like 4 bodies were hanging by their necks. Despite my heavy breathing and accelerated heart rate, I managed to pull the pen light from my breast pocket and turn it on. Looking more closely, the hanging corpses were actually large paper dolls, cut out in the shape of humans. Okay, so those things again.
なんだ
What is this?
All energy drained from my body at once, but after inspecting them even closer, another horror made my skin crawl. The hanging paper dolls were engraved with the names of the 4 Hachagami family members. Oh my god! As if these were effigies to the 4 of them. Not like those used in a prayer, but more like something used to curse someone. I was thinking of that too, Void Dweller. I tepidly stepped forward with that thought running through my head, but I couldn't think of anything to say. When I shined my light on the area, I noticed drippings of candle wax scattered across the tatami mats. What on earth happened in this room? My heart ached at the overwhelming force of the blight before my eyes. I stopped thinking for a while and just stood there, stunned. I suddenly began to feel dizzy, so I braced my hand against a nearby pillar. Tap. Something suddenly struck my shoulder from behind, and I spontaneously let out a short yelp.
なんだ大石さんですか
I read it ages ago, Void Dweller, around when it first came out.
What was that? Huishi-san?
いやいや、驚かせてすみません。
Oh my, sorry for sneaking up on y'all.
それにしても凄まじいですな。
Oh my, sorry for sneaking up on you. Anyway, oh, this is really terrible, huh?
Jeez. Uishi being so casual as always.
Yeah.
私もあっけに取られていたところなんです。
I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed by everything here.
お社様の怒りを鎮めるための儀式か。
This may have been a ceremony to calm Moishiro-sama's anger.
それにしてもこれは。
Even so, this is...
Even for Uishi-san, who isn't intimately familiar with the history of Hinamizawa and their belief in Oyashido-sama, it was a sight to behold.
何か切迫した情念のようなものが伝わってくるようですね。
It seems to convey some sort of passion, don't you think?
After taking a deep breath to calm my mind, Uishi-san and I began to examine the room while taking pictures. Unfortunately, despite my initial fearful reaction, there were no suspicious clues other than the eerie ritual items.
そういえば大石さん、
By the way, Huishi-san.
花田刑事から南井警部への連絡は何だったんですか？
By the way, Huishi-san, what did Detective Hinata need to tell Chief Inspector Minai?
ねえ、まあ例の件です。
Yes, well, it pertains to the matter we've been discussing.
詳しい話はともいちゃんから聞いてください。
Please check with Tomoe-chan to hear the whole story.
下で現場の写真を撮っていますので。
Yes, well,
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
please check with Tomoe-chan to hear the whole story. She's taking pictures of the crime scene down below.
With only those words, I understood everything. Oishi-san silently nodded to me, then headed out of the room and down the stairs. I followed closely behind him. Having finished taking pictures, I could see Chief Inspector Minai in the living room on the first floor, picking up something with her tweezers and carefully placing it in a plastic bag. When she noticed us coming down, she raised the bag to show it to us.
遺留品がまだ残っていました。
A lot of things were left behind.
帰ってから鑑識に回します。
I'll head back and turn these into the forensics team. It had a shiny pearl color. It looked like a medicine capsule. The forensics team must have missed it, because it had slipped into a blind spot between the cracks of the tatami mats.
何なんでしょうか？これは。
What could it be?
家族の誰かの服用薬でしょうか。
Was someone in the family taking medication?
畳の縁で盲点になっていたようですね。
I found this in a blind spot at the edge of the tatami mats.
よしこ氏のものでしょうか？
Could it belong to Yoshiko?
彼女はどうやら頭痛持ちだったらしいですから。
She apparently had chronic headaches.
Damn, I can't even imagine what that must be like. Like, seriously, regular headaches are bad enough. But to have them over and over like that, like, seriously. That just seems unbelievable to me.
かもしれません。
Probably not.
鑑識記録にもこれに関する記述がありましたね。
There was a note about this in the forensics team's records. Chief Inspector Minai handed me the pill, and I tried to hold it up to the light from the window. The dull prism shape capsule had a strange pattern on the inside.
赤坂警視。
Inspector Akasaka. Suddenly, after placing the items in her bag, Chief Inspector Minai turned towards me. Then she turned to Uishi-san standing behind me and nodded before looking back to me and began to speak.
先ほど例の君吉家周辺で捜査を行っていた花田刑事から連絡がありました。
Oh god, here we go. Here we go! This is when they're gonna hear the news. I received a message from Detective Anada, who is investigating the incident involving the Kimiyoshi family.
どうやら祖母の君吉明が数日前から外出していないそうです。
Okay, so not the full thing yet. The grandmother, Aki Kimiyoshi, apparently has not been seen for days.
家の中に引きこもっているということですか？
Does that mean she's been hiding inside the house?
それならまだいいんですが、
If that's the case, then there's no problem.
気になることがあるということで、これからあの家の君吉当時に任意で聴取を行うそうです。
If that's the case, then there's no problem. Lately, Choji Kimiyoshi has been behaving erratically.
戻り次第報告があると。
We're waiting on further reports. Upon hearing the Kimiyoshi family name, I was instantly reminded of Natsumi Kimiyoshi's beautiful face. An innocent-looking girl that I ran into on a rainy day a few days ago. Could she and her family be getting involved in another tragedy? How long will this chain of misfortune go on? Slowly looking back towards the source of the sound, in the shadow of the shrine, an enormous spider was gently staring down at me. Oh my god! I gotta say, you know what? I'm not gonna say it. I am gonna knock on wood. In my time in this country has been rather good in that department. I mean, there have been big spiders, but none of the like freaking things that seemed like they crawled right out of an entry-level cavern in an RPG. Nothing like that yet. Oh, God. As if to laugh at me standing there, the spider disappeared back to his nest, where the threads were stretched all around, filling the house with its disturbing sound. Wrestle, 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 wrestle. They are not like a Higurashi 2, they're more of a extended side story Void Dweller. Something in the palm of my hand released a cold feeling that pulled me back to reality. When I looked down on that something, I gently closed my eyes while trying to remember what it was. Oh! Okay, there we go. This ended sooner than I thought it would. Okay, you guys, that was a long, long, long prologue. My God. Okay, oh, I see what they're doing. They're gonna flash back. So this is a new, okay. So this is a new fragment. That was like a flash forward to just before Natsumi's incident. I see, okay, okay. I see now what happened. Okay, you guys, well, that wasn't exactly as good a start as Someutsushi, but you know what? I am looking forward to seeing what happens in this arc. And I hope you all will join me, because I can't wait to see more of the characters. I love the kids, too. If it's the size of a frostbite spider Void Dweller, then we're all dead. I certainly hope not. So in 2 days, we are going to continue this. tomorrow there's some more Fata Morgana, and let's hope this thing should pick up the pace eventually. And Fata Morgana is going really exciting right now. We're in the end game of that, basically. So I should see you all soon. And with that, I will say, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. You are all the sweetest of hearts. See ya.